Welcome everybody. We have here Adam Kovacs, president of Karate Combat. Who from the press has the first question?
How you doing, Adam? Eddie Mercado here with Bloody Elbow. First of all, congratulations on a highly successful Karate Combat 40.
Thank you.
The main event, Rafael Agaev, unifying the title, and not forget karate in one of the greatest fights I've ever seen in my life. I mean, both guys just, as advertised, they left everything out there. I mean, not an ounce of energy was reserved. It lived up to the hype, and that's so rare that we get those moments. Can you just speak on the main event and what it means for Karate Combat? I mean, this might be the greatest fight in the history of the promotion, would you say?
Yeah, I think so. I think it is, and I think this is a fight why we created the league. You know? And if this doesn't put us on the map, then nothing will. Honestly, I think if you show this fight to any combat sports lover or anyone who is not against fighting,
Right.
then gonna say that this is one of the best fight ever. And you know what was interesting, that I just came over here and I spoke to everybody, and they said it's not the best fight in Karate Combat history, but the best fight they have ever seen. And these were fighters, these were people, of the media, and so that I think that speaks for itself. And even after the second round, I thought that the guys were over. Like I felt that Rafa in the first one put out everything he had. He tagged Quay Hagan a few times, and then I felt that he's gassing a little bit, and that Joshua is doing what Joshua does, that he thrives in this environment, and then he's gonna come back. But then the fight went on, and the amount of punishment Joshua got, and then got back, and the knees, and then he tagged Rafael in the fifth. I mean, he said this is gonna be a rocky moment, the whole fight, and it was. The ending wasn't like how probably he wanted to have it. At the same time, he has nothing to be sad about. I think both of those guys put out everything they had, and they're both champions.
Absolutely.
Yeah, to ask a little bit more about the card, obviously Burbane and Samuel Erickson really delivered in that fight. Just what were your thoughts on that performance?
I mean, it's hard to compare after a main event like this, or even the co-main event. I think was very compatible or competitive with Varga and Scrivers. I think they did well. I think maybe Samuel didn't pull the trigger. Like he's a good kicker, but he didn't kick much. I know that he was relying on his boxing because he was preparing for a boxing match before, but I think Burbane, after 2 years, he did well, and he could finish the fight probably if it went a little bit longer.
Abby Wagner from the Fight Space. This was an amazing event. The main event, title unification. We also had some #1 contenders appear tonight. Those fights are going to need a location. Do we have anything in mind for where we're going next?
Before that, I would like to talk about those fights just for a second. Jesus Lopez did really well. Marty again got injured, but that doesn't take too much away from Jesus. He was ready. He was willing to finish the fight even in the first one. And then again, Edgar Scrivers, he and also Varga, and then I was really praying that he goes to the 4th round, because he was, for a combat sport lover, again, this is the top. And Scrivers was good. His post-fight interview was amazing. So I'm really looking forward to the trilogy with Luis Rocha. And yeah, we're coming back very soon, most probably end of August.
Adam, Mallory with some SportMartialArts.com. Just to echo everyone again, this is not so much a question, but I just wanted to really make a comment. During the fight at Press Row, we can actually watch you as you're reacting, and I think you really need to watch yourself during the entire time. I don't think the seat could contain your excitement during that last match
For sure not.
between Agaev and Quahagen. I guess I'll sneak a little question in. With the effort that both men put out, do you see a rematch between them in the future? Can they run this back?
I do. I don't know when. These guys need a little rest for sure.
Definitely.
And like the division is stacked and is really good. But who wouldn't want to see this fight again, right? And you could argue that if it went to another round, I think like the last round for sure went to Josh. So I think both guys would be down to do it. When it's gonna happen, I don't know, but it's very likely that it's going to happen.
Hey Adam, once again, great fight. Ruben Marvelous Vargas here on behalf of the Fight Space. Maximo Nunes had an incredible first round TKO or second round TKO. We talked to Maximo a little bit after the fight. He said that, he said, show me the money many times. He said that he's the main draw for the 135 division. What do you see next for Maximo Nunes?
I don't know. That's something we have to take a look how the division looks now. We've got some newcomers who fought at the last show. He's not undefeated. Stankunas beat him, but I think he made a statement tonight, and he's got a bright future. We'll see what makes the most sense, but he's progressing and moving up the ladder. We'll see what's next.
Adam, so Agaev is, before this fight, he was considered to be the GOAT,
Yeah.
and unifying the title just cements that even further. Silver medalist for Azerbaijan, he has a whole nation behind him. What are the odds that we get Karate Combat Azerbaijan?
We're working on it.
Is there a timeline for that, maybe?
I think 2024.
Maybe.
Gabriel Gonzalez, Cageside Press. Luke Rockhold was commentating. He looked to be having a good time. When I spoke with him, he did say, I kind of like it. He wanted to feel out the pit and see how he felt. What can you say about possible talks about bringing him into Karate Combat as a competitor?
I'm pretty transparent about it. That I even told him that first I want to invite you close to the pit and do some commentary, and then I think the pit and his style of fighting is really good for him, good for us. So like he wants to fight Machida. He fought him once in Strikeforce, and like we spoke to both of them, and I'm not saying that fight would never happen in the pit.
Wakanda Savage here. You promised that this promotion and this card would be fireworks, and it was all you expected it to be. We saw some savage fights, some savage finishes, and especially this last fight, we saw them really give it all. How does it feel for you as the president and as the promoter to see this all unfold and become the card that you envisioned it to be?
I when I look at the fights, I'm just happy for all of us, happy for the fighters, because I think we're providing them something which didn't exist before, and as I said many times, that they would have need to go somewhere else, do MMA, do kickboxing, but these guys belong here. You can see they are comfortable here, they love it, they respect their opponents, and as a promoter, what else can you ask for? The only thing I'm asking for is for people who is not on the bandwagon yet, jump on, because you're already late. This is you can I'm pretty deep into martial arts and combat sports, and no one is doing anything remotely close to what we're doing. And I'm not only talking about the fights, but the whole atmosphere, the virtual environment, the fighters. So look at some other promotions, right? They either copy paste what the UFC is doing, just in different colors, or maybe they create a different rule set which you know, let's say bare knuckle boxing, which they need the ex-UFC stars to sell their pay-per-views, and we are just, you know, like building brick by brick something of a very solid foundation of a league, which is super exciting. And no one ever went home from an event and said like this was shit, because everybody who is here once is almost like a drug. They all want to come back.
Can't agree more. Thank you very much for your time, President Kovacs. Us.
Thank you. Os. Thank you, guys.